If I were to tell you that playing basic chords causes more harm than good, how would you feel? Well, forget about basic chords because right now there's a chord structure that will change your life forever. Let me show you what I mean. Picture yourself getting ready for a live performance. You found the chord sheet for the song that you want to play, but you start playing the chords in their basic form. Suddenly, panic sets in. How am I going to move my hand all over the keyboard to play this progression? Well, the good news for beginners is that there's something that exists called chord inversions.
What?
They allow you to rearrange notes within a chord, which then gives you an area on the piano to play the chord progression in, stopping you from having to move your hands all over the keyboard when playing chord progressions. Imagine having the freedom to play a song without the fear of hand gymnastics on the keys. I'm going to help you to break out of that bad habit of just playing basic chords. And talking of bad habits, we're going to use Ed Sheeran's chord progression from Bad Habits as an example. You're not Ed Sheeran. Anyway, just focus on what my right hand is doing during this basic chord progression. Alright, let's set the tempo with a kick. Not bad, Ed. And then we'll get playing the basic chord progression of Bad Habits. As you can see, when I'm playing this chord progression with a basic chord structure, my hand is jumping all over the place. But using inverted chords, this is what the chord progression looks like. That's loads better. To help you understand chord inversions further, I'm going to show you exactly how to play them and how you can use them to sound pro on the piano. We've realised that playing chords in their basic structure, which is root, third, fifth, can make it harder to play chord progressions. So let's see how we can use inversions to help us out with that. First inversions are when you bring the root note to the top of a triad chord, and its structure is third, fifth, root. And this is how the Bad Habits chord progression would look if we were to play all the chords as first inversions. It definitely improves the sound of the chord progression and it sounds better than playing just basic chords, but it doesn't make it easier to play the chord progression, which is our goal here. So let's use this next inversion to help us out. Second inversions bring the top note of the triad, also known as a fifth, down to the bottom of the chord, and the structure of a second inversion is fifth, root, third. This is how the progression would look if we were to just play second inversions. Just using second inversions definitely improves the sound of the chord progression, but it doesn't make it easier to play, which is our goal here. And that's because we're using too much of one ingredient. And because we're using too much of one ingredient, it means we're not getting the results that we want. It's like baking a cake. Too much of one ingredient can make it too sweet, too bland, or produce no cake at all. So let's use a mixture of basic, first and second inversions to help make this chord progression easier to play, and ultimately bake a tastier cake. Using a mixture of second and first inversions are the key to playing easier chord progressions. That's because it keeps my right hand in the same position all the way through the progression. This is in comparison to playing the same chord structure throughout the whole progression. So you now have a tool to play easier chord progressions, but did you know that you can use chords to create different types of emotion? Well, you can find out how right here.